Welcome. In this video, we will explore the confidence interval for mean response. We will break down the formula, understand the concept of estimating the mean of y at a given x, and walk through a step-by-step example. First, let's understand our goal. When we have a linear regression model, we often want to answer a specific question. On average, what is the value of the response variable y for a specific value of the predictor x? For example, if we are predicting house prices based on size, we might ask, what is the average price for all houses that are exactly 2,000 square feet? That average is what we are estimating here. Here is the general formula we use. It consists of three parts. First, y hat, which is our predicted mean. Second, t star, which is our critical value based on our confidence level. And third, the standard error of y hat, which measures the variability of that mean response. Let's look at the first component, the point estimate, or y hat. This is the center of our confidence interval. We calculate it simply by plugging our specific x value into our regression equation. This gives us the best single guess for the mean on the regression line. Next is the critical value, t star. Because we typically do not know the true population's standard deviation, we use the student's t-distribution. The degrees of freedom for this calculation is n-2. For a 95% confidence interval, this value tells us how many standard errors we need to extend out from the mean. The third component is the standard error. The formula looks complex, but let's break it down. It includes the residual standard deviations. Notice the term 1 over n. This shows that a larger sample size reduces error. Crucially, notice the distance term, x star minus x bar squared. This means that the further our specific x is from the mean of all x values, the larger our standard error becomes. This distance term creates a distinct visual effect, often called the Bowtie shape. The confidence bands are narrowest right at the mean of x, because that is where we have the most data density and certainty. As we move away from the mean to the edges of our data, the interval gets wider, reflecting our growing uncertainty. It is vital to distinguish this from a prediction interval. A confidence interval estimates the average y for a group. A prediction interval estimates the y value for a single, specific new observation. Because predicting a single individual is much noisier than predicting a group average, the prediction interval is always much wider than the confidence interval. Let's apply this. Suppose we predict test scores based on study hours. Our regression equation is y hat equals 50 plus 8 times x for a student studying 5 hours. We calculate a predicted score of 90. With a margin of error of roughly 4.41, our interval is 85.59 to 94.41. This means we are 95% confident the average score for all students studying 5 hours lies within this range. To summarize, the confidence interval for mean response estimates the average outcome for a specific input. The formula combines the predicted value, a critical t-value, and the standard error. Remember that the interval is curved, narrowest at the center and wider at the extremes. Thank you for watching.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.